Bali Uber driver beaten by local taxi drivers. In Indonesia, a controversy brewing between conventional taxi drivers and the online transportation market has led to plenty of vehicular vandalism. On April 2nd, an Uber driver was brutally beaten by a group of conventional drivers in the Kuta village area of Bali. The Uber driver, 30-year-old Balinese man Ida Kadek Anom, was assaulted while his car was vandalized. On that fateful evening, Anom was on his way to meet his passenger in a white Toyota minivan at around 6:30 p.m. local time. But upon approaching the pickup point, a group of conventional drivers stopped him. The drivers demanded Anom pay them a fine of $37.50. So Anom called his boss to ask for the money. As he attempted to leave to pick up the cash, one of the drivers yelled out, and Anom was chased. Anom was then forced out of the car, where they began to beat him up. They also used bricks and wooden sticks to damage the crap out of his vehicle. Local police say they're still investigating and gathering eyewitness testimonies. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. We featured our fair share of Uber drivers on TomoNews. Here's a few more for you.
Uber passenger takes snoozing driver on high-speed chase. A 20-year-old Bronx man was busted for leading the popo on a high-speed chase after taking the wheel when his Uber driver decided to catch some shut-eye. Juan Carlos hired Uber driver Corey Robinson to drive him 275 miles from Philly to a college in Herkimer. During the drive, Robinson started getting tired, so he asked Carlos to drive his 2016 Hyundai Sonata so he could nap a bit. Robinson later awoke with a jolt to Carlos speeding down the highway. When Robinson asked him why he was driving so fast, Carlos responded because the police were chasing them. Robinson demanded that Carlos pull over, but he refused. Troopers temporarily lost sight of the car, but they located the vehicle a few minutes later after it crashed into a guardrail in the town of Colesville. Both Carlos and Robinson suffered minor injuries in the crash and were treated and released from the hospital. Carlos was charged with fleeing police and driving without a license. Robinson was not charged.
Atlanta cops investigate violent robbery by suspected fake Uber driver. Tens of thousands of people have seen a post Florida woman Taylor Cleary Corey uploaded to Facebook that alleges an Atlanta Uber driver attacked her brother. However, the ride-sharing app company and the accused Uber driver say the victim may have been fooled by imposters. Bo Cleary requested an Uber pickup near an Atlanta bar on Irby Avenue at about 2:45 a.m. on Sunday. In a viral Facebook post, Cleary's sister claims another carpool passenger was already in the Uber car that her brother got into. Bo Cleary told police the driver changed course and headed towards the 3400 block of Peachtree Road, behind Peachtree Presbyterian Church, before stopping the vehicle. Cleary told officers he was then beaten, robbed of his phone, cash, and credit card, and removed from the vehicle, whereafter at some point he lost consciousness. The suspect or suspects are then believed to have thrown Cleary down into a drainage ditch about 8 feet deep. When Cleary regained consciousness, he climbed out of the ditch and sought help. Cleary's supposed Uber driver that night says he canceled the ride and quickly picked up someone else. Uber says the tracking data supports the driver's account. Police are investigating. Another man is also claiming an Uber driver and a carpool passenger robbed him on the same evening. In that case, the victim told police he took an Uber ride from BJ Roosters on Cheshire Bridge Road and was then robbed at gunpoint. Atlanta police are looking into both cases, and Uber says it will provide all data needed to assist in the investigation.
Sleazy Uber driver demands passenger flash chest or give oral for ride. A woman in Toronto has put Uber on blast after she was aggressively sexually harassed by a driver who tried to strike an indecent proposal. On October 16th, 28-year-old Erica Zabo called for an Uber cab as she was leaving an event downtown. When she got into the car, she realized her phone had just died. Worried her payment wouldn't go through, she informed the driver. The driver told Zabo that the ride would not get processed, but offered an alternative means of payment: perform oral sex or flash her breasts for him. Disgusted, she refused, but the driver seemed to think it was no big deal and kept on pressing for his twisted fantasy to come true. Zabo repeatedly asked for him to let her out of the car, but the man instead offered her a third option: he'd pay for a blowjob. Eventually, he took her back to her neighborhood and she got out of the car. Soon after, she plugged her phone in to find out the ride had indeed gone through. She contacted Uber customer service, who called to apologize and refunded her $12. The dirtbag has since been dropped by the ride service as a driver, but Szabo only found out through media reports. She took to Facebook to warn others of her frighteningly common story and has filed a sexual assault report with Toronto police.
Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews.
Perverted Uber driver booked for groping passenger's chest and blaming her outfit. 28-year-old Rami Botros, a driver for the ride-sharing service Uber, was booked last week in Orlando for grabbing a female passenger's chest. Rami picked up a woman when she requested a personal driver through the Uber app. But Rami got a little too personal, reportedly saying how attractive and pretty she was, before suddenly pulling over and sticking his hand down the front of her shirt. The woman was horrified, but played it off, long enough to record him on her cell phone and get his business card before calling police. Rami later told investigators he thought the woman's revealing shirt and lack of bra meant she was asking for it. Nice try, Rami. Uber isn't a certified cab service, but the company says it conducts rigorous background checks on drivers like Rami, who now faces charges for battery.